What's cracking? It's your boy Mr. Criminal 2025. You know how we do it. Shout out to all my subscribers out there. Shout out to all my people getting their merch at mrcriminalshop.com. Limited edition, chasing the bag, bandana tumbler available right now. You can get yours, mrcriminalshop.com. Shout out to all my people all over the world supporting, liking, subscribing. You know how we do it. Much love. I appreciate getting it in with you guys, dropping this positive content, dropping some knowledge on daily life situations. And today we're going to talk about Nipsey Hussle, man. Rest in peace. Today is his 6th-year anniversary of his passing. Unfortunately, we lost Nipsey Hussle. Great West Coast legend. The stature that he left behind was some big shoes to fill that I feel like still haven't been filled in 6 years. You know, rest in peace Draco. He was right behind him. And I think that California took 2 big losses with those. You know, we've had a lot of losses, period. Rest in peace, Young Scooter that just passed away. Rest in peace, Ronnie, GS Ronnie. Rest in peace, Sucker Free 104. I mean, the list goes on and on and on with up-and-coming, young, talented people trying to make a way from bad situations and turn them positive with this music. And I think that, you know, it's a situation of not being able to leave behind what you work really hard to get away from. And I think that was the situation with Nipsey, man. Rest in peace to him. You know, his situation encompasses jealousy. It encompasses betrayal, people turning their back on you. You know, never leaving the hood is something that could be a benefit and a loss, because at the end of the day, you see, he was somebody that built a store in this community, but he was getting too big. As they say, people were saying he was getting too big for the program, but I don't believe that's what it was. He could always show love, and people could always show love and go back and give to their community, but some people just don't want to leave. And at the end of the day, I think that was Nip's situation. He didn't want to leave behind what made him who he was, and unfortunately it came with a price tag. And that price tag was his life, man. You know, no matter who you are, no matter how big you are in your community, even Jesus had haters. Even Jesus had Judas. And you can never get away from the fact that when you're getting to a position in life, when you get into the position of becoming Grammy nominated, worldwide acclaim for your music, but you still have roots in a community that's full of, you know, struggle, hatred, jealousy, expectations on you, you're always gonna draw that right back at you. And I feel like we've all went through it. Every single person has dealt with betrayal, jealousy, backstabbing. I've dealt with it myself, you know. It's unfortunate that his price tag was his life. And I think that we should highlight the fact that, you know, there's just no perfect balance when it comes to leaving your hood behind that help you become who you are, and taking off and flying like a bird to a situation and to a destination where maybe there's no coming back. I saw an interview with Draco not too long ago where he was talking about seeing Nipsey pass was something that showed him that he shouldn't go back to his hood. He shouldn't be back in the hood, in the ghetto, in the neighborhoods that he came from, because he was like, if it could happen to him, it could happen to anyone. And I think that that's a situation that, you know, unfortunately Draco kept carrying that through his music, and it caught up with him in a way of more jealousy, more betrayal, more backstabbing, so to say, literally. At the end of the day, you know, he decided to diss a whole city, and that came back. And that's also keeping your foot in neighborhood business, which most likely shouldn't have happened in his career. He had Drake already, he had big situations. You see, the point that I'm getting to is some people don't know how to let go. Some people don't know how to understand that they got to a point where they got past the regular just showing up to the hood to get a blunt, showing up to the hood just to chill with the homies and drink a 40. Like, you gotta understand the value that you carry. You gotta understand the value that you have in your life, what you impact. You have a responsibility to feed so many people, and you have an opportunity to take so many people out of that struggle, so to say, to be able to live and go overseas and build businesses and, You know, shout out to Black Sam. He's got the Marathon Burger now. I mean, they're creating franchises and corporations and business. This is something that comes with responsibility. You see, when you get to a level of success of that level, there's always going to be expectancy as well. People always want to give you calls and say, hey, I need some money, homie. Hey, I need you to do this for me. I need you to do that for me. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to say I ain't going back to the hood today. It's okay to say, nah, I ain't got that to give you, homie, because I value my friendship with you more than some money. At the end of the day, that money's going to break us apart. And some people are afraid, or they just don't want to say it because they don't want to be looked at like they ain't down with the homies no more or whatever. But I say, you know what? If they're really your homies, if they're really your friends, they're going to be your friends even though you just tell them off top, nah, I'm cool on that. You know, see, I had an experience with several different homies that got out of prison, people I grew up with, good friends, childhood friends, that hit me up for favors that I was proud of doing, and sometimes I had to shut them down and say, nah, homie, I can't do that. Because just recently I had a homie hit me up and say, yo, Crim, could you slap me a little bit of something, bro? I gotta pay my car note. Rent's coming up. And I had to tell him as a homie, straight up and as a man, you know what, I'm good, homie. I'd rather you just be mad at me right now for not hooking you up, but I'm gonna tell you straight off top, I value our friendship more than some paper. I value our friendship more than just a loan, homie. Like, if that's gonna get between us and you ain't cool with me because I don't wanna do it, then let's just cut it off right now, homie. I'd rather be real with each other and do that. But you know what, the homie hit me up a couple days later and was like, yo, thank you for that. You know, at the end of the day, it made me get on my grind harder. I didn't take the easy route. That's what we all need to do. We all need to be men of our own. It's okay to get help once in a while. It's okay to ask a homie if you're really down and bad. But you shouldn't depend on it, is my whole point. And I think that people were depending on Nipsey way too hard, way too much. You know, I'm pretty sure having that store, people would pull up all the time trying to get free merch, trying to get free gear, trying to go and, you know, pull on the homies' herb for free and sip for free and travel for free. That gets to a point where it gets like unmanageable. Like, if you're trying to build a business, kick down your homie, man. You know how many hoodies and t-shirts and hats I gave away for free? I never asked twice, but you know, I took losses on that. People will be at the warehouse and be like, yo, let me get one of these royal blue hoodies. Have it. Let me get a fit. You can have it. Let me get a hat. You can have 4 hats. Give one to your homie. Give one to the homie. Because I also understand that giving back is important, but there gets to a level of unappreciation. People don't appreciate, people don't tend to see that that's dollars out of your pocket. That's dollars that you're pulling away from feeding your family, taking food out of my kids' mouths, straight up. And that's what happened with Nipsey, man. At the end of the day, I think that people just expected too much. And I think that the jealousy and the envy that came along with it, because he was still right there in his hood and grinding, and you know, you got, not only do you have to worry about the rivals from the other side, but you got to worry about your own internal circle. That's a heavy hat to wear. That's a heavy hat to wear. And I think that nobody deserves to deal with this type of pressure when you're trying to become a star worldwide, straight up. He was becoming huge. He was becoming something that was legendary. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, not a lot of people supported while he was alive. Definitely he had very little radio play. Definitely he had not as many people, not as many hoods bumping his music and proud to be saying, yeah, I'm bumping Nipsey. I remember pulling up and bumping Nipsey, and some people were like, I don't mess with that. He's from so-and-so. He's from neighborhoods. And yeah, we don't mess with that, homie. We blah, blah, blah. Because people have so much pride. But at the end of the day, when he passed, it was the most televised event on the West Coast in the last 20 years. Why is that? A lot of fake love happened after. A lot of people, you know, rivals, his enemies were pulling up and showing support. Was that a moment of humility that people were like, damn, we lost somebody that was trying to do good for their community? Could be. But I do believe in envy turning into jealousy, turns into bitterness. And then you have a lot of fake love that happens. When he passed away, everybody was like, oh, we bumping him. Now all of a sudden the radio station's playing him back to back to back every single day. Now he's getting the love. Now he's getting all the DJs shouting him out. What happened when he was alive? Why couldn't you guys play that when he was alive? At the end of the day, I know what it was like. I know seeing him trying to push his new album and people weren't really messing with it and people weren't really playing it. Or it's too West Coast for our radio station. This is LA. We should be playing West Coast artists. But at the time, it was all the down south rap, trap rap. You know, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that people won't admit. But I've been a part of the industry. I am a part of the industry, and I know the way this cycle works. It's a vicious cycle. It's what you could do for me. It's what could you do for me? How could I benefit? And unfortunately, a lot of people benefited off of his passing. A lot of people benefited off of his, his name after he went away and transitioned into a different state of being in his afterlife, his spiritual journey. And I was at his funeral. Staples Center was packed. I still got the book that they gave everybody out there. It turned into an event. It turned into a straight event for the West Coast. You had artists outside networking. I ran into the homie Young Dopey right there inside. I ran into Yellow Hill outside. I mean, we were very deep representing the West Coast. And I know there was a lot of real love. You could feel it. But you could also feel the people just being there because they wanted to take advantage and be there for an Instagram moment and be there for something that was beneficial to themselves. Seeing situations like this just makes me realize that life is precious and we all have opportunities as men to change the narrative, so to say. Change the narrative of what we accept and what we allow in our lives. And it's okay to go back to the hood. I'm not saying to turn your back on your neighborhood. I'm not saying to turn your back on your homies. That would be wrong too. But know when to draw the line. Know when you gotta level up and boss up, so to say, and put your people on in different ways. There's no reason why this dude, Eric Holder, should have had such good access to him and be able to walk up on him twice and do what he did and then kick him in his head when he was down, bro. Like, there should have been someone there that stopped that. I even seen Black Sam in an interview saying what happened that day. There was always a protocol. We always had something on us in our hoodies. Everybody used to watch Nip. That day it wasn't. Why? This makes you think, man. And now we got indictments coming out from Big U and Loose Cannon, and they were on interviews and podcasts talking about we did this to this rapper, and Big U called me 30 minutes before Nipsey passed and said he was passed. And I hit Nipsey on the FaceTime and he answered. And I just told him I loved him. He told me he loved me and that was it. But the interview asked him, did you tell him that you heard this? He said, nah. Like, why not, bro? Why didn't you tell him? Like, there's so many things to question, like, that could have been prevented from losing a legend like Nipsey, bro. Starting with him not pulling up to the shop that day. And if he did, he should have been moving different. But we all should have done different things in our life. We all make mistakes, but I just think that it's a shame that he passed and paid the price by passing. So with that being said, man, I just think that we all need to watch our own circles. We all need to make sure that we're aware that there's threats even right next to you. There could be a Judas right next to you right now that you don't even realize it, that with time will expose it. But we all need to watch our best interests, and our best interest is to take care of our own families, our own people, our own kids. It's not your responsibility to take care of the neighborhood. It's not your responsibility to take care of your homeboy that don't want to work or don't want to grind but wants to leech off of you. It's not your responsibility to take care of other people's mistakes and damages that they've caused in their lives. And like I said, I've experienced blame and jealousy and envy and everything that comes with it. That's just what happens when you become a successful human being, period, in life. You could be in a square ass office and you're gonna have an employee right next to you smiling in your face. You might have went to lunch with them and then they go tell the boss you did something shady so they could get your position and get your pay raise. Like Jesus had Judas at the table with him, smiling in his face. One of his disciples traveling with him and turned his back on him, bro. And he had to pay with his life, but that was a benefit for everybody so we could have salvation. It's just something to think about. I think people go through it at all times. I think every single artist has experienced some type of jealousy or betrayal from their people. And we just gotta keep pushing. We gotta figure out ways to get past this and navigate these murky waters, and to be able to overstep the challenges that we have as artists straight up. With that being said, I hope everyone has a blessed day. Rest in peace to Nipsey. It's been 6 years. I still remember where I was at. I was at the Venice Beach boardwalk with my family. Still remember very clearly like it was yesterday. I was chilling with my kids. We were riding scooters and pushing from the crib, which was like 5 minutes away from the boardwalk, pushing back and forth with the scooters. And we had one that wouldn't work, and I was trying to get it to work, and all of a sudden my phone started ringing. Then I got a text message. I looked, and it was Brother Lynchon. Shout out to the homie Brother Lynchon. And he said, "Yo, bro, Nipsey just passed." And I just remember throwing the scooter at the fence, bro. I said, "What the fuck?" And I just threw that shit straight up. And I was like, "Not Nipsey, homie, what the fuck?" Like, it didn't make sense to me. And it had just happened right down the street. And the craziest part of it is Nipsey actually lived right there in that same area that we were at. And shit, could have run into him just at the grocery store. I mean, he was right there, right down the street from Venice. And we took a big loss, bro. And I remember seeing all the posts and all the online commentary about rest in peace Nipsey, rest in peace Nipsey. And I just started thinking, damn, shit's real. And this is where the fake love comes. It's a real situation, but now comes with fake love. With that being said, shout out to everybody out there, man. Make every single day one that you're proud of. Make every single day something that you strive to the next goal, so you can continue to take care of your family and the opportunities that God places in front of you. Shout out to everybody out there. Much love and respect. mrcriminalshop.com. Get yours. Brand new backpacks available right now. Much love and respect to everybody out there getting theirs. mrcriminalshop.com. God bless everybody. Have a blessed day.